Why? Because definition is everything for safety. Yeah, which one part is accurate, unacceptable risk? Which one is accurate, acceptable risk? Because concern of the safety itself is to reduce, is to minimize unacceptable risk. Yeah, the first one, what you are going to do with this safety is you have to understand. Yeah, you have to understand what the risk is. And if you really want to know what the risk is, you have to know about a definition. Yeah, definition about something that you want to manage. Yeah, like today I will give about the maintenance safety. So the first part which one I want to share is definition about maintenance itself. Yeah, because if you don't know definition, you are nothing in the safety. Even though you are trying to uh, to do something or to conduct something which you imagine this is part of safety. But in reality, you are not doing safety itself, yeah, because you don't understand about the meaning and about the risk in the meaning itself. Yeah. Okay. Now in the definition, I'm trying to looking for a definition about the maintenance. The maintenance is an activity to check, to servicing, to repairing, to replacing, yeah, related any necessary device, equipments, building infrastructure, supporting utilities in industry, business, or recent residential installation. So the important thing about maintenance is check, servicing, repairing, and replacing. So there are four words, yeah, that will contribute to risk. Yeah, check, servicing, repairing, and replacing. So this activity will be created, yeah, will be creating a risk, yeah, when we are conducting maintenance. Yeah, so yeah, even though the check is a simple activity, yeah, you just check, maybe you just observe, maybe you just see something gitu ya. So even though this activity very simple, they have a risk. Also the servicing, maybe you can replace or maybe you can exchange the oil or exchange the bulb lamp, yeah, bulb lamp, yeah. So maybe you just exchange the what we call is nut bolt or nut, yeah, you small nut or small bolt, yeah, you just exchange this one. Maybe this is a simple thing, yeah, but even though this simple thing, there are so many hazards inside, yeah, which you should know before you are doing, including repairing and replacing. Repairing and replacing, it is not only what we call is do activity without what we call without supervision or without observation. Yeah. Replacement and repairing is the important aspect in the maintenance, because this one important aspect in the maintenance, repairing and replacing, also creating more hazardous situation compared with check and servicing. Yeah. If you are conducting replacing something, or if you are repairing something, you need more specific attention, you more specific task, you more specific a job or specific competency to do that. So if you are not giving them or giving your team or giving special attention to this unique requirement, you are facing on the hazardous risk itself. Yeah, because replacing and repairing sometimes not only creating in the human itself, but also creating aspect on the equipment also. Yeah. So based on this definition, yeah, we have imagination, we have hypothetic, or we have assumption about what the risk inside of this activity. Okay. And then the function, yeah, maintenance also divided, also defined as a repair or overhaul sometimes. So in the repair and overhaul, or maintenance, repair and overhaul, there are four kind our objective. Yeah, one is about activity. Yeah, which is activity is a very huge, very numerous. Yeah, when you are doing when you see the maintenance aspect, yeah, there is no limitation time. Sometimes is the time is limited, yeah, resources limited, but the target is not but the target is unlimited. Yeah, you have equipment, but the equipment is limited. You have time, but the time is limited. You have resource, but the resource is limited. And you have a target, but the target is unlimited. Sometimes we are dealing with this situation. Yeah, the boss wants to equipment ready. Yeah, maybe 80%, maybe 90%, or maybe 100%. But the another things, there is limited resource for that. So how you can do, how the team will do in safely? This is big questions. Yeah, the boss want to immediately, yeah, that the equipment should start. Yeah, because if too long the equipment break down, then the profit will be down, the income will be down, and at the end of the day, the organization or the industry will be bankrupt. Why? Because there is no proper, it is not proper. There is no manageable. Yeah, there is no manageable maintenance. But if you are conducting maintenance, yeah, you will be facing with limited resource, limited manpower, limited time, and also limited capacity. Yeah, because sometimes you can only work 16 hours and cannot more, because if you are more than 16 hours, you will be get fatigued, and if you will be get fatigued, and you have a psychosocial problem, and then if you have got psychosocial problem, you are in danger situation, or you are in at risk behavior. That is the problem. So if we are conducting the activity, yeah, because the activity is a lot in the maintenance here, has measurement, replacement, adjustment, repair, or replacing, yeah, and then restore, yeah, everything, yeah, to make equipment back to ready to use, yeah, everything that can create equipment back to ready to use, that we call is activity. So when we are trying to what we call this, to make equipment ready, it's not easy. Yeah? Beside equipment, beside time, beside resource, yeah, sometimes a lot complicated. Yeah, like spare part. Yeah. You already open the all. Your team is already open the part of equipment, but the spare part is not ready. The boss, yeah, the boss, it doesn't care. Yeah, what the boss want is this machine or this equipment should be ready as soon as possible. But you are facing with the spare part of the equipment, and then because the pressure from the boss, you have you have some what we call it rushing, yeah, rushing activity, and at the end of the day, not only impact into your side as a personal, as a employee, but also impact to equipment. Yeah, because sometimes in the rushing activity, you are not fully focused, you are not only concentrating, yeah, to your job, and this create an inherently risk. Inherently risk you cannot measure. Yeah, you can feel it, but you cannot measure. That is the problem. Inherently risk. Yeah, you just only know from the sign. Yeah. Equipment sign like vibration, equipment sign like overheat, yeah, but you don't know, yeah, source of vibration, source of heat itself. Yeah. It is because you are not fully competent to do maintenance job, or this is part of the age of material or properties of materials. You don't know. What you know is, oh, right now we have problem with our equipment. Where or what this equipment just recently repaired or just recently service it. Yeah, this is only you know. You only know the macro system, but the micro system you don't understand. So that's why the activity will be taking part of important in the maintenance activity. Yeah, when you are not doing well to do in the maintenance, you will be facing not only you are in the risk situation, but also your equipment on the risk situation. Yeah. And then the boss will be pointing to you and will be, yeah, at the end of the day will be firing. Why? Because your boss will be not satisfied, and then they said that you are not competent to do that. Yeah, even though you explore the best experience, explore the best knowledge, yeah, to make equipment back to normal, but you don't know, you don't really understand about the situation or the risk itself, and the boss will be said that you are not incompetent. Yeah. The second thing is about action taken. Why action taken to be important thing? Same with number one. Yeah, any activity. Yeah, sometimes you do in the, you not safety is sometimes is cannot cannot rushing, yeah, cannot, yeah, if you are doing safety, you will be compete with the time, but the boss doesn't want to spend time a lot. That means the boss is trying to influence you to bypass, yeah, to bypass something, because if you are not bypass something, then you will be difficult in the time, in minutes the time. That's the problem in safety when you are conducting with the maintenance, what we call is unscheduled maintenance. If we are conducting with scheduled maintenance, it's not a problem. But if we are conducting with unscheduled maintenance, this is challenge for the safety. Yeah. And the third is about repair. Yeah. Sometimes the boss or our leader want to only repair, not replace, repair only. We know if we are just only repair, there will be impact to everyone. Yeah, everyone who near this device. Yeah, we know that. But the boss is sometimes, I don't care. Because if we are too long to not start this equipment, we will burn. Yeah, we will burn a lot of money. Yeah, the boss said like that. So the repair something is not good. Yeah, it's not good solution. Why? Because repair and replacement is the different term for the different activity and for the different result of safety. Sometimes repair is should follow it also with the what the risk after repair, what the safety will be accurate after repair, what the safety will be do after repair. Yeah, to what we call is to solve the risk after repair. This is the problem. Yeah, in my experience, I never choose the repair if there is any replacement. Yeah, because between repair and replacement, this is two kind of different term. Repair more give more hazardous situation rather than replacement. Yeah. Sometimes you know, we are trying to exchange part of equipment, yeah, part of equipment with another equipment, which is we don't know the history of the another equipment itself. Then with taking this equipment or with taking this part without unknown historical, we put into the breakdown machine. Yeah, and then this machine will be running, yes, but the risk we don't know. Why? Because we don't have any information about the history of the spare part. Yeah. Compare with the replacement. If replacement, you have history of spare part. You know this is the quality is okay, and then if we put into the breakdown machine, we can not only increase the reliability of machine, also we can increase the safety for machine itself, for who will be use this machine, who will be using this machine. Yeah. This is the problem sometimes. Yeah. So another thing with routine recurring work. Yeah. This is also, yeah, you know, routine work can create someone stubborn. Yeah. Routine work can create someone stubborn work, a stubborn person, because they feel that, yes, I do this one is It's a very long time, more than 10 years, more than 15 years, more than 20 years. Yeah, I conducting routine recurring work like this one. So for me, it is not new. Yeah, it is not new again. Yeah, if they are thinking like that, if the person who conducting maintenance thinking like that, then you have a Sardaus situation. Because in 20 years, it's different with right now. Why? Because the risk so dynamic. The risk is so dynamic. Risk is not static. Risk is dynamic. Yeah. Can be occur from the equipment, can be occur from the external, like weather, yeah, also like natural situation, yeah, or can be created by human itself. Yeah, when you think about, I'm very experienced person for this one, that's mean this person is in danger situation, because they will be disobey, yeah, any small kind of risk, any small kind of deviation. Yeah. More than they say that I'm more experienced, that this mean this person will be disobey. Yeah. Any small deviation. As you know, a big accident or catastrophic accident, yeah, mostly came from the small deviations. Yeah. So be careful. Yeah, be careful. Yeah, with the person who feel that his or her very experiencing with this machine, with this equipment. Yeah, because my experience told to me and giving a lesson to me that this person someday will be created major accident. Yeah, the type equipment, as you know, yeah, maintenance is a very dynamic activity. They can predictive, they can preventive, they can reactive. Predictive and preventive is more stable compared with reactive, because if we are in the state of the predictive or we are state in the preventive, we more we have good preparation for that. Yeah, because we learn from experience, we learn from history, we prepare something, yeah, about maintenance, so the safety can be more manageable. But in the reactive maintenance, safety is not good management. Yeah. Sometimes the problem is mostly the company, mostly the industry is choose the reactive maintenance comparing with preventive or predictive maintenance. So if you go to the industry, then industry apply the predictive or preventive maintenance. That means this industry is more concerned for safety rather than the industry which more comfortable with the reactive maintenance. So you can see, yeah, if you goes to the company and you asking about where is the maintenance plan, where is the maintenance schedule, and they can show to you, that means this they fully concerned on the safety. But if you are asking about where is the maintenance schedule, or where is this maintenance plan, and this company cannot showing this one to you, that means the company was not fully concerned on the safety. Yeah, from the schedule, from the plan, we know, yeah, how they are conducting, how they are preparing, how they are organizing, or they are monitoring, and etc. Yeah. More planning, more execute, more planning, more monitoring. That means that the risk is more than this risk. The risk is part of their concern. If there is no monitoring, if there are no planning at all for the maintenance, that means there are not fully concentration of making risk as part of the heart of maintenance. It's easy. It's very easy. This is I taking from the journal. Yeah, if you reading the journal about safety and maintenance activity, the framework. Yeah, in the journal, I give it the journal below. Yeah, you see that more of the maintenance accident is miscommunication, and then unsafe walking habit, and then loss of connection. Yeah, oxyacetylene cutting torch. This is welding activity. Wrong application. You know. Yeah, and then what we call is mechanical and hose failure. Yeah, loud noises. Loud noises is very, very low. The highest one is unsafe unsafe walking habits. If you are talking habit, you are talking mindset risk. Yeah, because habit came from attitude, came from the mindset. Yeah. So the biggest challenge of the maintenance safety is came from the habit, is came from the mindset, came from the attitude. Yeah. Particularly if there is no what we call is there is no participation of employee inside of the maintenance activity. Okay, I give you an example. I give you an example. Sometimes the maintenance guy trying to make what we call hand tool, make or create or made, yeah, or made hand tool by himself. Yeah, because they're asking the company, they are requesting to company, but company is late to supply their specific tools. And then the maintenance guy is chasing by schedule, chasing by timeline. So they have to conduct the maintenance activity right on the time. But the problem, the equipment is not available. So they are trying to alternative equipment to use, yeah, to finish the job of maintenance with a specific tool that they are creating without any completely evaluation on the risk. Yeah, sometimes they are trying to modifying standard tools, yeah, to specific purpose, and then they are using this modifying without consideration in the risk, without consideration with the hazardous aspect. They're conducting the equipment, they're conducting the maintenance job, and then the end of the day they get incident or accident about that. So this is most the common, yeah, most common incident which occur in the maintenance activity. Yeah, that's why based on based on research, yeah, based on the research, two guys, what we call is Hazans, yeah, as from the research, they founding that the walking unsafe walking habit is the biggest contribute to maintenance incidents. Yeah, based on their research, and they are trying to propose. Yeah, they research. They are trying to propose what should be to do in the maintenance activity. They are creating some like what we call is a flow chart. Yeah, how to conduct best maintenance activity. Yeah, they are trying to explain something. Yeah, they are trying to do the step by step how to conduct maintenance safely. But at the end of the day, the company, yeah, is not as they are imagining it, because what we are imagination in the procedure sometimes is not done. Yeah, what the company imaginated in the standard operating procedure or ISOP, yeah, is not done in the reality. That is the problem, the biggest problem of the maintenance activity. Yeah, a lot of challenge. Yeah. The company says that you conduct 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 steps. Yeah, to repair, let's say, to repair a genset, you have to step number 1, step number 2, step number 3, step number 4, until the final steps. But at the end of the day, this step is useless. Why? Because the situation was changed. Yeah, maybe the weather was changed. Maybe the equipment was different. I mean, it's a device. Yeah, tools difference. Yeah, maybe you know, the persons who assistant to the personnel guy, to the maintenance guy was different. Yeah. That's why we cannot imagine that in the procedure is the same as we done. Yeah. So the important thing is, if there is no situation similar with similar as described on the standard operating procedure, what the maintenance do? Yeah. What the repairing personnel do? Yeah. Because it is important. You have what we call is job safety analysis. Yes, you have job safety analysis. But at the end of the day, job safety analysis telling you nothing if your equipment is not suitable with the current situation. If your team was not really competent, yeah, with the situation. So that's why, even though you have procedure, even though you have job safety analysis, that it does not mean you are in safe. No. If your procedure, if your GSA only in the word, only in the statement only, yeah, not in their mind of person who conducting the activity of maintenance, then your procedure, your GSA is nothing. Yeah, it is common not only in Indonesia but also in the around the world. Yeah, it is only part of the procedure. Only you created the GSA, but not part of the creating attitude to everyone who conducting the maintenance activity. The principle, yeah, the important thing is principle of the maintenance. One is stick to schedule. Yeah. Because maintenance, yeah, we have the unscheduled maintenance. Yeah, how we are conducting with unscheduled maintenance. This is also the big problem. Yeah, but even though there is any unscheduled preventive maintenance, you have clear procedure for that. Yeah. Once. Second, authorization key, like lock out, take out, like what we call is yeah, auto in charge, yeah, in charge key. Yeah, this is important. Yeah, sometimes someone can change the mode of the operation from auto to manual. Yeah. If they are creating something, yeah, with this the different situation, yeah, without proper risk assessment or without proper evaluations, then this will be creating hazardous situation. Yeah. So many incidents created from the key is not authorized use, but using by someone. Yeah, someone without proper authorization, yeah, use the key to change mode of operation. This is also part of the risk in the maintenance activity. Yeah. And then check. Yeah. When the personnel conducting repair, yeah, it must be accompanied by someone to observe. Yeah, because if only one or if only 2% conduct the repair without additional person who observe the situation, this person only focus on the equipment, not focus in the surrounding area. Okay, if they are lack of focusing in the surrounding area, and sometimes there is no person who accompanied them to work for the maintenance, it will create a dangerous situation. I give you an example like confined space. Confined space, you need watchermen, right? So it is not only confined space need watcher guy atau watch guy, yeah, but also in all the maintenance activity, you need someone to be as the watcher guy. They will be inform you, they will be warn you if any hazardous situation surrounding in your activity during doing maintenance activity. Yeah. So that's why the principle number 3 is required person. Yeah. Yeah, to check. And then after use, yeah, need double check. Yeah. That is in the process safety, we call it as pre-startup safety review. Yeah. Pre-startup safety review itu that mean before starting up, we need ensure that what we are doing is already done safely. What we have done as a manual requirement, we done as the procedure. Yeah. Okay. And then feedback. Yeah. Feedback also important. Yeah. You need the authorized person, the area authorization. When the maintenance guy to do something in the production area, that means the production area have authorization person. Yeah. This authorization person need to be informed and need to be feedback from them. Yeah. Why? Because sometimes a lot of maintenance do modification, do some improvisation. Yeah. If they are doing modification or improvisation without inform, yeah, to the production area or to the production authorization person, yeah, they will be creating for the production in the future. So that's why any maintenance activity, the production authorization area, yeah, must be told by maintenance to ensure that they also aware what the risk of after the maintenance itself. At the end of the day, from the principle itself, you know, the maintenance is a fluctuative, the competency. So we cannot ensure, we cannot determine that the competency is stable forever. No. Yeah, the competency is up and down. Yeah, and it depend on the, yes, of course, physical, psychological, yeah, situation, physical situation, psychological situation, and if we are not maintain their competency at certain levels, then we are creating inherently risk for the next maintenance activity. So that's why, yeah, that's why we should not we should ensure that they have proper training in the what we call is in the proper manner and in the proper time. Yeah. And 5 basic rules for safe maintenance, as I said on the principle. One is planning. Yeah. One is planning. Predictive, preventive, reactive, need planning. Yeah. If we are talking need planning, then we are talking risk assessment. Without risk assessment, don't allow to conduct maintenance activity. It's simple. If someone wants to doing repair pump or wants to doing replace pump or wants to doing to check the compressor, asking, yeah, hey, you want to repairing a pump, you want to repairing a compressor, you know the risk? Yes, I know the risk. From where you know the risk? You have risk assessment? Yes. Where is your risk assessment? And they show you the risk assessment, and then you asking, okay, how many times you conducting this activity? Oh, so many times. This is so many times. Is it still the same with your risk assessment? It is important. Yeah. Even though we have a limit time, so giving the time. Yeah. Yeah. Even though you have limited time, so you still need giving time to discuss, to interview before they are doing the job, before they are doing an activity in maintenance. From the interview, yeah, you believe, you understand, yeah, you realize, yeah, that they will be conducting maintenance with the proper manner or with the proper way. Okay. Making workplace safe. Sometimes the number one place in the industrial is a very high risk, is the place where maintenance conducting activity. Yeah, no one can doubt for that. Yeah, because the first place is the place is the place where the maintenance, where the guy who conduct the maintenance activity, that is the very highest risk place. So it is important to manage working place of maintenance, yeah, as the workplace safe. Sometimes it is about habit. Yeah, maintenance guy will not return their equipment, return their spare part, return their chemical in the proper place. Yeah, so we are have obligation to remind them. Yeah, to make their attitude, yeah, stick into the workplace safe or safe workplace. It is important. Yeah, we cannot reminding only just one times. Yeah, we shall reminding them every time. Yeah, because it's the part to what we call it. It's the part to growth. Yeah, growth of their attitude. If you want to there become habit, you have to remain. Yeah, every time, time to time. Yeah, don't boring about this one. Yeah, so that's why making workplace safe is the number one of creating or supporting to avoiding unsafe behavior or unsafe activity. Use appropriate equipment. It is also important. You know, our mechanical guy, our maintenance guy is a very clever. Yeah. Sometimes they creating special tools. Yeah. Based on experience, they are creating special tools and they work with these special tools. Yeah. Without proper analyzing in the risk. Yeah. You can see, you can observe in many industry, if we are facing with special tools and they don't have special tools for that, they will be use imagination, they will be use creation, yeah, to make the special tools by themselves. If you find it, the maintenance guy use the special tools, yeah, not from the original tools, not from the manufacturing, creating by themselves, you have to stop. Yeah. You have to intervene. You have to stop. Because sometimes the maintenance, yeah, to solve the problem in the equipment or the device, yeah, with the limited time, they created the special tool. Yeah. And this will be creating another risk. So we should emphasize to we should enforce, we should enforce to everyone in the maintenance activity to obey, not use the appropriate or not use the special equipment, yeah, by themselves. If there is no appropriate equipment, yeah, you cannot do the job. That's finished. Yeah. Even maybe even the boss was angry for that. Why there is no maintenance? Yeah. Why is not conducting properly? Yeah, you can say that. You can say that we don't have proper equipment. Yeah, to do that. If we create it by ourselves, yes, we can create it by ourselves, but we need analysis in the risk. Yeah. Okay. Working as planned. Yeah, working as planned. It is important. Why working as planned? It is important. When we go back into the year of 86, what happened in 86 in North Atlantic Sea? Does anyone know what happened? 86. Any huge catastrophic, yeah, huge accident in the North Sea? Anyone know? 86 accident occurred in 1986 in the North Sea. Anyone know?
Not sure. We don't know.
Oh, how come? Are you familiar with Piper Alpha? Piper Alpha accidents. Are you heard about that? Piper Alpha. Are you heard? Even you, have you even know about this accident in North Sea in 1986? The Piper Alpha, the platform Piper Alpha. Have you heard?
Yes.
Yes. Okay. What the main causes of Piper Alpha?
Main cause of Piper Alpha.
Sorry. What the main causes? The Piper Alpha. The main causes, which is 180 person was dying. Yeah, was died. Yeah, the victim is 180. Yeah, the victim 180 person died. The Piper Alpha is very famous. Yeah, very famous. What we learn from the Piper Alpha is they are running a maintenance job without working properly, without working planet properly. Yeah. The pump, yeah, the pump for transferring hydrocarbon was repaired. Yeah, was repaired, and there is no proper communication between one ship with another ship. So the working of the repairing the pump was poorly managed, yeah, particularly on the communications, yeah, because the poor in the communication, the operation guy was not realize that the pump was still on the repair, yeah, because the operation guy was not realize they're starting the pump and the pump running and then create the hydrocarbon flooding, and the hydrocarbon flooding as soon as possible immediately ignited by, you know, by electrical junction or electrical equipment, and created a huge explosion and also a huge fire, yeah. But sadly, the very sad is the master point for employee right above the pump. So underneath of the master point, which is the master point is a helicopter deck, below the helicopter deck is the pump where the maintenance guy conducted the maintenance activity. Because the poor situation, because the poor communication and no really understand each other between maintenance and also the production guy, yeah, this create the huge catastrophic, the huge disaster, yeah. So that's why, yeah, in the safe maintenance, yeah, working as planned, yeah, is very prioritized. Not only planning we are conducting this assessment, but work as planned, that means we conducting communication, yeah, communication, yeah, to everyone, yeah, who become influenced by the maintenance activity. That means working as planned, yeah, different with planning. Planning, that means we are preparing risk assessment, but working as planned, we need to communicate, we need to understood, yeah, that's the important thing. And then the final check, yeah, same with Piper Alpha, yeah. Piper Alpha is the activity of maintenance was completed, but not final check, not conducting final check, and not conducting the communication. Okay? Because not conducting final check and not conducting communication is then this creating the disaster for the Piper Alpha. Okay, that's why final check is very important. Yeah, so 5 rules, all is important thing. From the 1 activity until 5 activity, all is prioritized. Yeah. If you conducting without or you avoid or neglecting one of the 5 rules, that you will create the unsafe condition. Yeah, we can learn from the Piper Alpha disaster. Okay, any questions? Okay, Ibu Nurul.
Alright, so I think thank you very much, Bapak Rosli, for very excited lecture just now. So this is the moment where we dive in the questions or concerns from the students to see your thorough understanding of the topic that has been delivered just now. Okay, so if there are any questions from the students, you can raise the questions to Bapak Rosli.
The student is postgraduated or undergraduated? Oh,
Undergrad. Year 3. Year 2. Second year. Undergrad.
second year. Oh, second year. Okay.
Undergrad.
Okay.
So maybe the student is not ready yet with the questions, so I think I will start first with the questions.
Yes.
And you can continue, okay, your part right after me. All right, Bapak Rosli. So
Yes.
nowadays, trending issues is related on the artificial intelligence. So
Yes.
from your opinions and your wise experience, do you think it is appropriate to employ artificial intelligence in maintenance works? If yes, where do you think it can be employed in maintenance routine?
Okay, artificial intelligence. The first we should back to definition of artificial intelligence. Yeah. The artificial intelligence is that mean you creating someone to think, correct? To think and to create, to think and to conducting by themselves. Okay. Yes, we can make easier by artificial intelligence. The work making easier, the task making easier, the job will be making easier by artificial intelligence. But remember, no perfect machines. Yeah, no perfect machines. Yeah, the only perfect is human. Yeah, the only perfect is human. Why? Because machine can detect. Okay, machine can resolve. Okay, machine can repair by themselves, but machine cannot replacing by themselves. Okay, who will be conduct the replacing something? Still human. Yeah, still human. So to anticipate the error of the artificial intelligence is, as the human, you need to check critically the reliability and sustainability of artificial intelligence itself. Because whatever they have think, whatever they have to what we call, they have memorize, yeah, they're still a machine. They are not human. Okay, so maybe they can correct, yeah, themselves, but remember, sometimes they cannot, they don't have any feel. Okay, they don't have any feel. Human have a feel to judge something. Yeah, human not only use the brain, the knowledge, but also they feel to judge something. But the machine no. Yeah, so that's why we have to be careful. Yeah, you have to be careful when we are using artificial intelligence, because artificial intelligence is the machine, not human. That means not the artificial intelligence didn't have passionate, they didn't have feeling, they didn't have what we call is spiritualism. Yeah, which is based on that we can choose right or wrong. Yeah, right or wrong is not only a result of the logic. It's not only result of our mind. It's not only result of our brain, but also contributing by feeling, contribution by what we call is imagination. So artificial didn't have imagination. What they are doing is only what we are programming. Yeah. So we can use artificial intelligence, but we should care. We should careful for that. Okay, no problem for artificial intelligence, but we need to check and to test and to measure. Yeah, because sometimes yeah, as I said before, they don't have any feel, they don't have any imagination. That is the problem from the machine, menurut. Yeah, so like a landing of airplane. Yeah, you can say autopilot mode. Autopilot mode is artificial. They can read weather, they can read speed, they can read pressure, they can read everything. Yeah, airplane mode is can read everything, but to get soft landing need the feeling. Airplane, when the landing, need the feeling. Not only calculating by program, but also need instinct, need intuition from the pilot as a human. That's it. My answer, menurut.
Yes, very well answered. Thank you, Bapak Rusdi. So, any of you have any questions to ask Bapak Rusdi?
Yes, please.
Hello, Bapak.
Yes, please.
There was another similar case like the Piper Alpha.
Yes.
It's the Deepwater Horizon.
Yes.
Through my studies, I learned that it's because of testing at the Deepwater Horizon. By your definition from your slides, you state that maintenance is about testing. Is it does it reflect the same thing for the Piper Alpha and also the Deepwater Horizon? So thank you.
Okay, your question is?
The Deepwater Horizon is due to the testing. Exposure
Testing, yes.
Because, okay, and from my experience, the testing is not actually maintenance. Testing is we are regular testing, but we are not recurring. We are doing tests to for certain requirement. And by your slide, you showed that maintenance is also testing is also part of maintenance.
Yes.
What is your opinion about that?
Yes, the testing is a part of the test. Yeah. So the Piper Alpha is a very when we are talking about Piper Alpha, is the this is complex situations. Yeah. Not only from the equipment sides, but also from the human sides. That's why I recommended you as your second year to read the book from the Andrew Hopkins, yeah, which the title is disaster. Yeah, you can if you are knows in the some websites, yeah, in the some website, you can download it freely. The book of the Andrew Hopkins. Yeah, Andrew Hopkins about the with the title is Disaster. Yeah. Disaster. In this book, Hopkins said that organization has failure. Organization has no memory. Yeah. The organization has no memory. What does it mean? The organization has no memory. What does it mean? The organization has no memory. Okay, back to Piper Alpha. Is there anyone having memory that the palm is underneath the palm is underneath the helideck, which is helideck is part of master point? Is there anyone from the employee has memory that the master point is right above the palm? No. Okay, no one have memory, even though organization. That's why communicate everywhere, every time, every chance to do communicate, because we should put the memory. Okay, our brain, okay, a lot garbage. You think about debt lah, yeah. You think about someone that will be love to you. You think about your mother. You think about you think about your study. Some like this one. We have a lot memory in our brain. That's why sometimes our memory is short. Yeah. So when we are learning from the Piper Alpha is, even though they have briefing at the first time when they are arriving in the Piper Alpha, they have any safety induction, they have any safety information, they still don't have proper memory about what they are to do if there is any emergency situations. Why? Because they run or they walk into the master point, which is this master point right above the incident itself. If you read the Piper Alpha investigation, you said that, oh, this is a suicide. This is a suicide. This is not aware about the situation. They doesn't aware about the situation. What they aware is, I should follow the instruction, and the instruction give to information that we will should gather into the master point area, which is in the helideck. Yeah, even though the below helideck is a source of incident or source of problem, he doesn't care. Yeah, they follow procedure, yes, but again, procedure can be modified. Yeah. Procedure is something written can be modified. What cannot be modified? In the words, only on the scripture. yeah, Quran or Bible cannot change, but the procedure can change. Yeah, that's why the problem of the Piper Alpha is not only about the maintenance itself, testing, blah blah blah, something like that. It's part of maintenance. It's also the scenario never tested before. So everybody doesn't know where to go if there is any huge catastrophic like that. If you are rating something, if you are rating procedure, the procedure need to test. And if there is not need to test, you should understand what the challenge is. Like now, maybe someday you will be creating or you will be writing an emergency procedure, right? As the safety officer, right? The boss will be asking you, to writing emergency procedure. You writing a procedure. You determine the emergency area. You determine the master point area. But at the end of the day, this is not only the only one, safe location for our emergency. Sometimes you need your own room or you need the building as the master point. Even though your procedure is not mentioned about that. But you should realize the risk is dynamic. Okay? You can imagine like this one. I give you some example. From the main gate, which is employee will be entering the location from the main gate. Yeah. You will be trespassing the what we call is a storage area. Okay. To your building, to your building to do job, to do some job in the building. Okay, you will be walking in the road which is passing some of the storage area, and you declare, that the master point, the safe master point, is outside building, which is the outside building is maybe facing with the storage tank, or maybe inside in the safe location, according your evaluation, okay, this is a very safe place. Okay, but your tank having hazardous chemical with toxic properties. Okay, your chemical having toxic properties, and there is any emergency situation which is your chemical was released from the storage. My question is, you still follow the procedure, which is you should go to master point, or you stay on your building, which is still on your building is not stated in your procedure. Which one?
Stay.
Why you stay on building? You not follow the procedure, because your procedure was not mentioned to stay in the building. All any emergency situation should go to master point. Why you should building? You break the rule, right?
Yes.
You break the procedure, right?
Yes.
Correct. Am I correct? You will be break the procedure. Yeah. You not go to master point. Okay. That's why your procedure need to test. Yeah. Is it still reliable procedure or not? In the time you creating procedure, your company will use chemical without toxic properties. And then your company change the chemical. Why? Because your company need more profitable. So need profitable, that means change the chemical. When your company change the chemical, you should change the emergency procedure. Because the property was different, right? Correct. Correct. Correct or not?
Yes.
That is kept in the most of the company. When the company change, yeah, including the Piper Alpha, when the activity was changed underneath of master point, there is no clearly procedure for that. Yeah, so that's why everybody goes to the master point as they are trained. Understand? Okay, everybody goes to master point as they are trained. They don't care about the change situation. What happened? Yeah, because no one care about if there is any activity underneath of the master point. Are we changing the master point? No one care about that. They already care after incident happened. Yeah, that means your emergency procedure is not static. Your emergency procedure is dynamic. Depend on your condition, depend on your product, depend on your chemical or substance, depend on your machine, and etc. That's why the important thing of the Piper Alpha is we cannot stop maintenance because that's part of productivity, but we can change. Yeah, we can change this maintenance to the another safe way if any unpredictable or what we call is any planet, yeah, unplanned situation that can creating a disaster or can creating a fire or explosion. Okay, this is my answer for you. That the problem is not about the problem is not about testing. The problem is about the everyone follow the procedure as they are trained, and no one informed that don't go there. They follow the procedure because they believe if they are no follow the procedure, they will be punished. They will be enforcing by company to accept some negative word or some negative consequences from the company. But at the end of the day, the company has responsibility for 180 victims of the Piper Alpha incidents. That's the point. Okay.
Right. So thank you, Bapak Rosli, for a very good answer and explanations on the topic today. I think, do we have any questions from the floor before we end our session?
This is occupational. This is occupational degree, yeah? Not public.
Occupational Safety and Health Program.
Oh, okay, good. Right. Indonesia is only 2 university, only 2 university concern on mostly below public health, yeah. mostly in
Public
Indonesia.
health.
Yes.
Okay, under public health. All right.
Yeah.
We can
Okay.
have a further discussion about this program in future, Bapak Rusli. Okay, what I can conclude today before we end our sessions, I think most of the students need to highlight critically on the occupational hazard and risk in maintenance work.
Okay.
Actually, as
Okay.
been explained by Bapak Rusli just now, most of the tragedy incidents around the world, the causes comes from the maintenance. Okay, besides Piper Alpha, there are another cases that relate to maintenance fault. For example, Bhopal tragedy and also Pitboro disaster. You can search on that tragedy. Okay, and yes, it relates on the 4 keywords that has been given by the Bapak Rusli just now. The checking of the functional checking on the servicing, repairing, and also replacement. I think that's a very good sharing today, Bapak Rusli, and I would like to ask for a picture, okay, together. Boleh masuk cam process? Take a picture.
Okay, before closing statement from you, Madam, I giving some one word, yeah. So safety is the way to manage unacceptable risk. Okay, safety is not way to manage an accident. Yeah, safety is manage the risk. If you proper manage the risk, you not got the accident. If you are improper manage the risk, then you have get the accident. So safety is the way to manage the risk, not manage the accident. Okay, deal for that. Okay. Don't think safety is dealing with accident. No, safety is dealing with the risk. Okay. If you can manage the risk, you can manage the accident. If you cannot manage the risk, then you cannot manage the accident. Correct? Okay. This is from my final speech, Madam. Okay.
Thank you. Actually, Bapak Rusli has a very huge experience in hazard and HAZI. Okay, hazard operational and HAZI identification. Jadi we can save Bapak Rusli's number. Okay, so that you can keep in touch with Bapak Rusli and ask anything with, related to the maintenance safety in industry. Okay, thank you very much, Bapak Rusli. So
Thank you.
Can we have a picture together? Come closer. Oh,
orang duduk depan aja orang duduk depan.
Stop sharing kan? Bapak Rusli, can you stop sharing so we can have a big picture?
Oh, so okay.
Don't leave. Okay. Okay.
Okay. Okay, baik. Balik bos.
Masih.
Satu, dua, bisa, satu, dua, ada info.
Ada. Sikit kepada sini. Lipat-lipat.
Ya. Satu, dua, tiga. Oke, satu, dua, tiga. Oke, bisa satu, dua, tiga. Oke,
Okay, thank you very much for
Okay, thank you. Thank you. Ya.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Bye. Assalamualaikum.
Salam.